Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Monday, January 26th. And I realized
You
I
don't
didn't
have
have to
to
do the
intro
intro,
it.
and that's what you're going to say. No, okay, I forgot. I just realized, and we're leaving it in. I didn't have to do the intro because we already did the intro because we pre-record. We're here after the Celtics beat the Portland Trailblazers, 102-94, the final score. Fun game in Boston, ugly game in Boston, but Celtics bounce back after a tough loss in Chicago nonetheless. Amari Williams plays 25-plus minutes. Jaylen Brown and Payton Pritchard put up pretty solid numbers. Derek White comes in clutch. A lot of fun stuff happening in this game, a lot of not so fun stuff happening in this game, but we'll talk about it all. And you get double intros today because I forgot we did the rest of the pod.
Really fun game. Sad not to be there today. The snow cooked me, not going to lie. But so many awesome stories. Getting to see Jrue and Rob Williams back in the building was nice. Two awesome guys, two awesome Celtics. Jrue a champion, Rob honorary champion for being part of getting Jrue on the team. Celtics take care of business. Really, I mean, anytime you see Payton Pritchard show up against the Blazers, you know he's just going to ball out. His highest scoring average against any team in the NBA is Portland. He has a career high against Portland. He just showed up for the Celtics in this game at moments when they needed it. Celtics controlled this game for the most of the night, but they also didn't control this game. They led wire to wire, and they never really let it get that close, but it got to 5 in the closing minutes of the fourth quarter. Like, it wasn't nothing, but at the same time, it never really felt like they were in trouble. It was just they never blew it wide open type of win. Good Jaylen game. Good Payton game, as I said. Derek looked a little bit more like himself today despite the turnovers. Amari Williams is another huge story out of this one. I mean, we can start wherever you'd like, but good win. Good day to get back in the win column. And the Celtics continue to be better at showing back up at home after road trips this year. So another positive.
Yeah, I feel like Pritchard was the best player on the floor, and Jaylen was actually Jaylen might have been the best player on the floor. That was 1 and 2, but I feel like we have to start with Amari Williams, even though he wasn't as great in the second half. Just what a first half from him. Finished the night all in all with 9 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, an assist, and a steal, 2 turnovers as well, and 5 fouls, which isn't great, but man, like you could really see the vision with Amari. I still thought he was moving a little bit slow, like a little bit hesitant in some areas. Like I don't think the rebounding was quite where it could have been. I thought there were some, delayed reactions, but that dude sets a motherfucker of a screen. Oh my God. Like guys cannot get around him. He hustles his ass off on the glass, even though he face guard blocks out literally every single possession. But they don't call it, so it doesn't matter. I still wish they would use him as a passer more. Payton Pritchard said that after the game too, when I asked him about Amari. They're really just running handoffs with him. The one chance he did have to make at a pass on a cutter, the cutter didn't cut, and so he just turned the ball over. But yeah, man, the screening was real. It feels like he's finding his space around the basket a little bit better for dump off passes. Got a couple dunks, got an and one. The patience is there too. It's almost like he's too patient sometimes though. So like I think some guys need to slow down. It's almost like he needs to speed up a little bit, which is kind of ironic. But you can see the bare bones, right? Like you can see the Celtics have something to work with, and you can really understand why they picked him.
Yeah, Amari had 9 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks in this game. His most impressive stat was 26 minutes. You do not get minutes on this Celtics team unless you play well.
And
he started
on
Saturday and only played
that
10.
That motherfucker hit the bike in the middle. He was getting through those 26 minutes.
He brought it in this game. Like, it's like he got a taste of the NBA this last weekend, playing the 2 overtimes in Brooklyn, starting in Chicago on Saturday. He's like, man, I'm not giving this up. Luka Garza happens to be sick today, makes 2 of us, and he just takes advantage of the extra opportunity. Josh Minott was back today. He was healthy. He was available. He didn't play. He would have played if Amari wasn't good. I guarantee it. I know after the game, Joe, both in his broadcast interview with Abby Chin and also with you guys, pointed to the matchups. With Klingon and Rob being 2 long, big bodies, it's important to have somebody like Amari there to compete with them. The screening was far better. We talked about it Saturday. On Saturday in Chicago, he wasn't setting like important screens or impactful screens. And when he did hit somebody, he didn't get out of it. Like he was very slow to get moving and it slowed down the offense. Today it was completely different. He had a couple dunks in this game because he relocated well. There was one specifically that he got out of a roll and just went through the lane with nobody guarding him at all because it worked so well, the pick and roll. So seeing him look a little bit more comfortable in real NBA minutes against, I mean, Klingon and Rob are not bad players. They're good players. Klingon played really well against Boston last time. He was actually the difference up in Portland when they played. And then Robert Williams, we all know, like he looked like Rob in this game. He didn't have a bunch of points or anything, but he had 3 athletic buckets. He had a block. He had a steal. He had some rebounds. He looked a little bit like, what if they went and got him type play, to be honest with you. But the fact that Amari brought it against players of that quality says a lot about, the work he puts in. And like, he could not play Wednesday at all. He could play Wednesday and be bad. He's a rookie. The ups and downs are going to happen. Today was one of the ups. And it shows you what the vision is, because the things that he did right versus what he did wrong on Saturday was the simple IQ / making the right play in your role stuff that he is very much in control of. So happy to see it. Impressive game. Good stuff from Amari.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. I always enjoy watching guys who don't get a chance to play a lot because, they're all NBA players for a reason. So they're inevitably going to have a lot of talent. We got to see Amari Williams. So it was exciting. I enjoyed watching. But Payton Pritchard also just elite in this game. This was a game kind of like the Nets game where you had to live with some isolation possessions because the Blazers are so physical. And, it's like, the late game theory where everyone complains like, oh, just why are you running an ISO? Well, if you run a pick and roll, it's more of a chance for them to steal. It's more of a chance for you guys to set an offensive foul. It's more of a chance. Like there's more stuff that can go wrong. And so when you get in a game like this, and the Celtics ended up having an okay amount of assists, I think they had like 23, 24. A lot of that was because they were doubling Jalen late in the game and he got, some passes out of there. But Payton Pritchard cooked his matchups. Like, you need guys who can score in isolation in this game. He had a ridiculous drive, step back, mid range, deep in the paint, or like in the paint towards the free throw line. It is just like unbelievable to watch Payton Pritchard cook in isolation. And this is not a Blazers team short of elite defenders, right? So on a night where you needed him to be a bucket, he was a bucket, and that's big time. He's been really, really, really good this season.
Yeah, my favorite part of this game was the end of the first quarter. Anthony Simons is bringing the ball up the court, and it looks like Boston isn't running anything. He's just going to take on, I think he was being guarded by a wing. I don't remember which one it was for Portland, but they all can defend. They're all long guys. They have the wingspan to be really annoying, right? And the size to be annoying. And they double team Simons and leave Pritchard wide open at the buzzer on purpose. Are you kidding? He made a 3, and then before halftime, he had another buzzer beater, which they did not leave him open for. Actually, everybody guarded him. He almost lost the ball, and he hit a crazy baseline fadeaway that did the little Kawhi bounce and then went in. He just is impressive more and more as the season goes on because he is incredibly poised. He never gets rattled. He's always calm. And he's somebody that is an important secondary scoring option on a team where you look up and down and like Jalen's there, but nobody else has really been that consistent. Pritchard is probably the second most consistent guy on this team this year. And I don't really know if any of us thought that was going to be the case. I'm sure there was a chance, but with a new role and being asked to start and having to like handle the ball more and deal with that and the decision-making part of being point guard rather than just being in there to just chuck that thing up, he's done really well. Like this was great. How many assists do you have in this game? Do you have a lot? Do you not have a lot? I don't even know. I don't have it up. I'm a bum. Payton Pritchard, 23, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. I mean, he was scoring. I guess he didn't need to dish out a lot of assists today, but typically he racks them up, doesn't turn the ball over hardly ever.
You know what I'm thinking about? This is, sorry, off topic. I don't think we did an intro for the emails. I think we just went right into the emails. So I think no one's going to understand what was happening at the start of this podcast. I'm like 90% sure we did not do an intro when we did the emails. I think we just did the emails. So
what can you do?
Anyways,
honestly? You can't do a perfect podcast every time. It's really hard.
It happens. It happens.
We're so washed. We don't even know how to do it anymore.
Whatever. Before we continue, I want to tell you guys about Prize Picks. Prize Picks, the best place to get real money, sports action this basketball season and this football season, which, if you are a New England sports fan, is still going on. Big game bound. The Patriots. Look at them go. But yes, Prize Picks going on right now. The big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, that also means that's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So close the season out right with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. You can find your community on Prize Picks with the new social feeds feature. You can share Prize Picks with your friends and copy lineups for winners with a single click. Copy lineups you like or use them as inspiration for your own picks. You can even follow Prize Picks partners and tailor fade the picks with just a single click. There's also a new feature, early payouts. If your player gets off to a hot start, you have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. And like I said, the big game right around the corner. If you are a New Englander or a Pats fan in general, no better place to get real money sports action this time of year for football season than on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. But yes, Jaylen Brown was also really good in this game. Didn't take as many shots as he maybe normally does, but the Blazers did throw a ton of pressure at him later in this game. 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, only 1 turnover. I was just very impressed with the way he sort of dissected this Portland defense, as well as when they did send pressure at him. Like he did a great job of just getting the ball out and keeping it moving.
Anytime you can look at a box score at the end of the day and Jaylen has less than 3 turnovers, pretty good. Like, can't complain. Efficient shooting night. Hit the glass, stole the ball 4 times. This is fine. I don't care if he's a little passive. He's just taking what's given to him, as you said. And that's part of leadership. That's part of being a number one. You can't just say, fuck it, I'm going to shoot this bitch every time, no matter what, if you're getting double and triple teamed. It's a team sport. The Celtics have proven that they are a team full of guys who are capable of filling their roles. So if you defer to them, it should go in your way more times than not. Like tonight was a perfect example. Pritchard, 23. Derek, 18. Derek hasn't even been playing well. Even Hauser had a nice 11 points. He had a good second half. I feel like all of those points came in the second half. And he continues to show you that he can do stuff off the dribble, which is always kind of astonishing when you see it. Simons gave you good scoring production. Like, this is kind of what happens when you oversell to guard Jaylen. And Jaylen got a little frustrated early. He had like maybe his biggest stare down with an official all season long after he made a bucket on Tamani Kamara early in the first quarter. He thought that Kamara grabbed his arm, which didn't look like he did on the shot, at least. Maybe a little bit before, like as he was getting to the spot, he grabbed his left arm, which was not important to the play at that point anyways. And he was like literally standing there, wasn't getting back on defense, was still in the paint, yelling at the baseline official, being like, he grabbed my arm. Like he kept going like this. And I was just like, man, this is why you look at the box score and the Celtics took 18 free throws to Portland's 30. Not actually, but sometimes it feels that way. Overall, like not to like diminish his great game because it truly was good. I'm always impressed when we get games like this from top guys where they can be passive but still be effective. Maybe passive aggression is good as a number one option. Something to think about.
Passive aggression. God fucking do it. Yeah. I think, like you said, a game where he doesn't turn the ball over and a game where you get as efficient production as you do from Jaylen, it's a good thing. I was very impressed. Derek White, not his best game. Again, he's pretty efficient. The 8 turnovers really hurt you. A couple of them very uncharacteristic of Derek White. But once again, like he did in the Chicago game, I thought he played great down the stretch, hit a big shot, had that great steal on the last like inbound play of the game, even though Portland ended up winning the tip. It just feels like he's second guessing a lot of the stuff he's doing right now.
See, to me in this game, it didn't feel that way. And then I realized he had as many turnovers as he did. And I was like, maybe I'm just not paying attention well enough. But in terms of shot making and getting to spots he wants to shoot from, the forcing wasn't there today, in my opinion. He took 15 shots. Don't really remember any bad ones. He didn't get struck with any grenades from what I remember, which is a bonus for him. He probably very welcome experience for Derek not to have to fall on the exploding bomb at the end of a possession. 7 and 15 ain't bad, man. I thought he was going to shoot 50% today, and I was going to feature it in the takeaways where he hasn't shot 50% since January 9th, over 2 weeks ago. January is just mean to him. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why he can't play in January. It's just kind of what happens to him every year. So I'm not as alarmed, but he looked better today than he has looked in a while, in my opinion. Like 8 turnovers. So I don't know. But I didn't say, man, he's just not making anything. I don't trust him.
No, he looked
that was a good one.
He started off the game well too. Like he was being aggressive, getting to his floater. It was definitely a better game. It's just those 8 turnovers are tough. Outside of that, not too much noteworthy. In my opinion, Sam Hauser, great close, much needed close to this basketball game. Hit 3 shots in the fourth, 2 threes, and a little pull up 2 in the mid range. At a time where it really felt the Celtics offense was floundering against this Blazers defense. Like he hit those big shots. Simons hit a couple or at least one big shot. Derek hit a big shot. Pritchard hit a big shot. Like it just felt like that lineup before that Pritchard 3. Where Jalen and Pritchard were off the floor. That was like the make or break part of the game, it felt like. And Hauser came up big. Derek made a couple plays. Simons made a big shot. Like they found ways of getting the job done and sort of gritted it out. So that was impressive to me.
I was unmuted that whole time. I hope I wasn't making any noises. I was just texting. I'm sorry.
You were not.
My girlfriend's trying to get home from the airport right now. Yeah, I liked the role player games today. I was particularly impressed with Hauser. 7 rebounds when he didn't shoot the ball well. Like I was joking in the first floor discard, he starts 0 for 2 from 3. I was like, I'm pondering about Sam Hauser right now. I'm wondering.
And then what happened?
He had a great second half. Like I'm genuinely impressed with he made, as you said, for both of these guys, he made a big shot in the fourth quarter when the Celtics were letting go of the rope a little bit. They had put together some stops and they needed like a big punch to send Portland into a timeout. And he made a catch and shoot 3 at the top. I think it was after, was it Ugo maybe dove for a loose ball and they got it back and he hit a 3. I don't remember.
I think so.
But it felt like a big momentum play like that, where it was like he put the cherry on top of the scoring position that they had earned. So I love plays like that. Those are the ones that like it feels like they should actually have like a weighted field goal percentage on those because of how much it can mean for momentum. Simons had a great first half stretch. Like I remember him just kind of going out, getting his shots. He had a nice crab dribble on somebody in a pick and roll with Amari, I think it was, and just floated it up. And was it Jrue? Did he crab Jrue? I don't think it was Jrue. But anyways,
I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, there's no way you would know off the top of your head. That would be asinine. Solid showing for him. He played really good defense in this game. That was like a big story. Nick NBA was tweeting all about it. He has continued to get better and better as the season goes on. I think he's starting to kind of trust himself more and starting to trust the help defense too, and getting a feel for all of it together makes it so he can just be instinctually comfortable and in the right place. Like he bodied up some guys on drives today. I forget who it was. There was one on the baseline in the first half. Somebody was trying to drive from the left side and he just stonewalled them onto the baseline. It was really just guarding your yard type stuff from a guy who's not built like a security guard of any means.
You know what it was? Anthony Simon said, you know what? You guys don't want to teach me defense? I'll show you defense, motherfuckers. You're not going to teach me defense for 7 fucking years. Look at all the stuff
I learned.
Yeah, I'll show you. Look at what I learned in 7 months in Boston versus 7 years in Portland. I don't know. Has it even been 7 months? It might not even have been 7 months. Actually, it probably is around exactly 7 months. I might have cooked. I'm thinking.
Yeah. Actually, it might be 7 months to the day.
July. No way. Wait, hold up. Okay, now I'm going to fixate. Anthony.
Oh, no. They got traded before the draft. Draft was 25th, 26th of June. So you're
It
probably
was
like
July.
7 months, 3 days. Oh, the official trade went through on July something, but the actual report
July
that it all
7th.
happened was before the draft.
I'm seeing July 7th. So how many months since July 7th? I don't want to think. Okay, no, it's been. Surely it's not. Oh, okay.
It's like 6.5 from July 7th. I'm telling you, the trade was
6 months.
announced.
Yeah. Come on.
Trade was announced at the end of June.
I don't really have too much else. No, Minot was interesting. Was healthy today. Oh, also did you know this? Chris Boucher not with team listed in the box score. So windy fingers
Sick.
if you'd like. He's sick.
Not
Ugo
with
played.
team.
Thought he solid hustle minutes. Shireman fine. Walsh fine. Shireman great rebounding, great hustle. But anyway, sorry. And Nemi was kind of in this game, but continue. Sorry, not with team.
Not with team. Sorry, I'm trying to find the PR tweet. He was like questionable. He went from not on the injury report, if I'm correct, to questionable to out with an illness. Yeah, he was not on the initial injury report this morning. Luka Garza was the first like surprise this guy might not play today, and he was questionable. And then Boucher appeared in the afternoon, and then he just was ruled out, and he's not with the team. I'm guessing that he was just sick. Because if you're sick, don't really want to be around the fellas. But maybe I'll get to. I made a Brad mixtape for those of you that don't know, and I'm sitting on it. If they make a trade, I'm gonna get to tweet it, and 3 people like my tweets because I've just been fucking bombing up there.
Oh man, that's all I got. I don't have anything else for this one. Do you?
Bill Chisholm harassing Derek White in the workplace. Not cool.
What did he do?
Well, Derek's a Broncos fan, and he's going to deal with his fucking boss sitting there taunting him.
Good.
Appropriate Drake May merchandise at the Shamrock. Not completely discounting the event he was at. Well done.
Yeah.
Also, like now it's like kind of warranted because they're actually in the Super Bowl.
In the fucking Super Bowl, yeah. Go Pats. Come on.
Even though I still don't think
I'm
still wondering what Drake May does. Every game I've watched, he doesn't do anything.
You know what? Don't care.
Except
Doesn't
run.
matter. Doesn't matter at all. He runs. There you go. Runs.
He's a running back.
He broadcasts in conference championship. The announcer just goes, "No one runs up the middle better than Drake May," and everyone's just like, "What? What the fuck are you talking about, dude?"
What a weird game that was. Can you imagine if it just started snowing in the middle of a basketball game?
Crazy. And they want to put domes in every NFL stadium. Fuck off! Don't ruin the sport. We like this.
You think we don't have to talk about this long. You think making it a controlled weather environment would make the product worse?
I think it is. I'm trying to think of
the second half yesterday.
I think it's just stop. Just like it's part of the sport. Like it's outside. It's supposed to be outside.
Okay, sure.
It's part of it. Like don't why like I think it's lame. Right? Snow games are fun. It adds an extra challenge. Like it's why warm weather teams struggle in the snow. Right? That's a thing, right? That's something you have to account for, right? Cold weather teams maybe aren't as good. Like Pats didn't win Miami for a long time. They go to different weather. They didn't
know what to do when the sun was out.
I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? Like it's genuine. Like it's part of football. Like
what was great about the football game?
Different environments
was the Patriots the Patriots literally decided in the fourth quarter that they were going to essentially give up the drive on third down. They threw it away on purpose on third down to punt. Because they just knew the Broncos there was no way they were going to score.
Smart. Putting a dome on a football stadium was like fouling up 3. Have some fucking integrity.
No,
let's be serious.
It might be the opposite.
No.
If there was a dome on the stadium yesterday, there would have been more suspense. Because you would have been like, maybe they can actually score. Either team.
Yeah, domes in football are fucking lame. It's lame. It's lame.
I don't really care that much. I have a friend that feels strongly about that. Whatever.
It's stupid. Feel strongly about they should have domes or no domes?
Yes. Yeah, they should have domes.
I don't know who it is. Loser. We'll throw it over to the rest of the show. We did the rat list and the emails. Go ahead. All right, let's do your guys' emails. It's been a minute. The Celtics schedule has pressed up against us in terms of when we're capable of recording, but we're here. It's been 10 days, but we're here. Let's catch up right now. As a reminder, as always, you guys can yes, we are. We're definitely watching. You guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. That's hbtcpod@gmail.com. First one from from Philip. Go get Goga, ? Fellows, with the trade deadline rapidly approaching, one name I haven't heard thrown out there much is Goga Bitadze. 26, rebound, protects the rim, finishes well. Also makes 8.3 mil through the 26-27 season. Reminds me of Cornette if Cornette were soft-spoken. He's having his best season, 2.3 net per game. While Mo Wagner was out, the Orlando's defense is coming around again. Their offense still looks sketchy. Maybe they're willing to swap Goga for Simons. Why Orlando might be interested. One, they'll be over the second apron, so Simons expiring could help manage their cap. Otherwise, I don't see them getting rid of their expensive core. Two, Orlando has 7 other guys than Goga, who are 6'10 plus at the center forward. 3, with Mo Wagner back, I expect Goga to lose some minutes. He's already played over 20 in 2 of his last 36 this season. He is only, I should say. 4, Orlando's probably seeing some of what Jack and others are, that Simons has grown as a defender, that he can rescue a lineup that needs offense. I'm not sure of all the trade machinations. Obviously, some other players need to be included to make the money work, but both teams are under the second apron right now, so I assume it could happen somehow. Why Boston would do it? Celtics ducked the apron this season. They're set up to possibly duck it again because Goga's contract runs through 27. 2, this team could afford to lose Simons in the long run with Tatum's return, though it would probably sting this year. 4, Goga fits the team's timeline. He's 26, and if he thrives here, he'll be unlikely to become cost prohibitive, especially if the repeater tax gets reset. 5, he fits the culture by all accounts. Goga is humble, fierce, and smart. He seems like a Joe Brad guy. What are your thoughts, best? Phil. Thank you, Phil. I'll let you go first, Sam. That was a long email. I talked for a while.
Well, if there's one thing we know about Goga is he's going to play hard. He was the one that cut Porzingis wide open in Game 2 of the first round last year. If you're looking for an extra depth rotation piece, he's not a bad option. If I'm not mistaken, he has some stretchability too, where he can shoot threes and give you some extra spacing. They might not be what the Celtics will be looking for from him, but if you're going to bring in another big body on a cheap contract, it's not a bad idea. It's just I question whether or not Orlando's eager to give you a guy. Like when I saw this email come in, I was like, if I'm a Magic, am I really trying to help them cement themselves as a top contender this season? But if you're getting the right price, the answer is yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I love the Goga fit. I think he's listen. Every time I've watched Goga play basketball, I've watched Jamal Mosley sub him out like 4 minutes into his sub pattern. Like he's constantly in the wrong place defensively. It feels like he's setting illegal screens. Maybe that's a Boston can fix him thing, but if the difference is, if the goal is to get into the repeater tax, I don't hate it. But I think if you're trading Simons, you should want a bigger swing. So I don't hate it, but I just don't know if it's the perfect move, and I don't know if you should move Simons for anything less than the perfect move at this point. Next, RJ says one size does not fit all. Morning, folks. With all the chatter about with Brad trading for a center, I thought it might be good to ask the dumb question: what does Coach Mazzulla prefer in his big men? Here's a list of players who have suited up and played some minutes in the pivot for the Celtics while Joe has been in the chair. Okay. JT, Grant Williams, Al Horford, Kristaps, Luke Cornette, Nemi, Robert Williams, Jordan Walsh, Blake Griffin, Josh Minott, Luka Garza, Mike Muscala, Xavier Tillman, Noah Vonleh, Lamar Stevens, Chris Boucher, Fondu, Kevin Vic, Gale, and Amari Williams. Quite the list. What's also interesting is that only one person on that list who is primarily a center averaged over 30 minutes a night playing time. That was Big Al in Joe's first year, 22-23. Everyone else has pulled 29 minutes or less. My own thoughts are that Joe wants a bunch of different flavors that allow him to match up. The most prevalent role on offense is a screener and rebounder, followed by a floor spacer from 3. At the defensive end, first defend in concert with the team, then rebound, then finally protect the rim. Dumb fouls, turnovers, and lack of rebounding effort will get you pulled to the end of the line. With that in mind, who on the trade market fits the mold? Because it looks like Zubats and Triple J don't. Be well, RJ, who also likes trying to solve mystery stories before the culprit is revealed. I'm curious why Zubats doesn't fit that role to you. I think he does fit the role very, very well.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of the guys they have. Like, he's a supercharged Luka Garza. He gets a lot of offensive rebounds. Plus, he's just a significantly bigger body who has a lot of NBA experience, who's an all-defensive level player. He's going to give you a lot of the positives that you get from the guys that you can clearly see that Joe already likes. He's giving them consistent minutes. Garza has become a staple in the rotation. He's not going to shoot threes for you, which is a little different. But I think like he's like a supercharged Garza / Cornet hybrid.
Yeah, I think he's just a really good pick and roll center, and I think the Celtics could use that playing 30 plus minutes a night. And for what it's worth, I think the reason a center hasn't played 30 plus minutes a night is because they haven't really had one capable of doing so in a while. Like, think about the starting centers. Kristaps injuries. Al is almost 40. Mimi doesn't seem to have the lungs for it. Luka Garza again. So I think there's reasons behind all that. Paolo Benazzi says, "Hi guys, it's funny how things have changed in the past couple of weeks for our good friend Anthony. I guess that's now now it's Brad Stevens who's taking the calls from other teams, maybe offering picks and no longer the other way around. Which leads me to my question to you. What would you do now? Because it seems like the dude might command a contract way closer to the previous one than we've ever imagined. Could the Celtics now be forced into trading him instead of being willing to? Ciao." I saw this in my Boston Sports Journal Q&A a little bit. I don't think he's going to get much more than the MLE anyways. I don't think that's changed much. Like, he has become a better defender, yes. A much, much, much better defender, yes. But he's still not the archetype of player teams have been willing to pay lately, right? If the best example of a guard getting that much money lately who's not a superstar is like on the open market. It's like, what, Dennis Schroeder got an MLE from the Kings, and that was just because one team, the Kings, wanted to pay him that money.
Kings.
So I still don't know if he's going to get that much money on the open market.
Yeah, I question whether he's going to get a lot more than that. I was tweeting about how impressed I was with him not long ago. I was like, man, on a team friendly contract, he's a championship piece. Like, he is. I don't think that's outrageous to say. And then people are like, what's a team friendly contract? I was like, I don't know, probably the mid-level exception. Someone was like, I would pay him 30. I was like, well, that's why you're not in charge of an NBA team. Because I think if you're the Celtics and you can pay him $15 million a season, it's fine. Even then, you may want to give a center that money to come play for you instead. But somebody else might. There's just no guarantee with somebody who's built like Simons and has a play style like Simons that he's going to always be consistent on defense. Like, he could go join another team and then lose all of the good habits he built here because they're not consistently hammering it home that this is what the play style is here. This is what we do. Like, he joined this team without having ever done defensive playmaking drills in Portland. Like, if you go to another, I won't even call the Blazers a loser franchise because they were doing something right on defense last year. They were top ranked in the second half of the season. But if you go to some team that really doesn't care, which is probably the type of team that would splurge and pay him more than the MLE, then there's no guarantee that you get this kind of Anthony Simons production.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's got to be a team fit part thing. So thank you, Paolo. Next thing, what price on Anthony? RJ says, morning, folks. Amazing what a record-setting 39-point performance will do to shift perceptions, isn't it? 6 weeks ago, all the discussion was about how much draft capital Boston would need to attach to Simons to move his contract at the deadline. Now the question looks like, how much would someone have to hand Brad to part ways with Anthony? What's your guess? Is Well, RJ, who thinks if the C's make any acquisitions, it would be from the post-deadline cuts. Again, I don't think the market has shifted too much. I think the teams that were already kind of interested in Anthony are probably a little bit more interested in Anthony. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe other teams are a little bit more eager, but he still makes a lot of money. Still got to get really, somewhat complicated. But I don't know. I'm very curious to see what happens. But I'm hesitant to say they're going to get anything crazy for Anthony Simons.
I think the market for Anthony Simons before the season was teams that are willing to use their cap space to get them additional assets. Now there's not really that anymore. I don't know how many teams out there are going to be able to absorb $27 million into their team and think it's making them better mid-season still. You may just have to do it to the Clippers are not an option anymore for that. If you're using it to match salary with Zubac and give them a bunch of stuff, it's different. But there aren't many teams that have contracts that you want that are going to take him back, that have the room to take him back. This is just a weird puzzle.
That's why a 3-team trade is likely, in my opinion. That's why you rope the Nets in, and that's why you rope the Bulls in, and that's why you rope the Jazz in. You're like, that's the point of those fucking, for lack of a better word, bad teams. like shitters. Like that's the point. That's
Shitters.
why. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think there's a mix, but thank you, RJ. Next we've got RJ again. Celebrations galore in Atlanta. Happy Saturday, everyone. Congrats to Jack for landing the BSJ gig. Thanks, RJ. This just shows you how long ago we haven't checked. I'm sure he'll be outstanding there. Congrats to Sam Hauser for demolishing the record for most three-point attempts without taking it to 21. The old record was 17. And congrats to the Celtics for playing exceptional team ball for 3 quarters. The fourth was fun for deep bench guys to see the light of day, but that was about it. Oh, and congrats to the Suns for kicking the Knicks to the curb too. Be well, RJ. We'll rewatch the second quarter soon. Yes, this was the Atlanta game. The Atlanta game was kind of ridiculous.
I wish every game was like that.
Don't we all wish every game was like that? Thank you, RJ. Next, Philip says, fellas, I caught an interesting video from Romp _ 2.0 about the Celtics offense. You know what's funny? I actually have heard of this guy. So this is interesting. It basically showed how they're at the bottom of the league in assists, but are profusely using screens to get to great success. In other words, they aren't getting open shots from passing, but instead screening. It dawns on me this may also be why we have so few turnovers. I'm curious how you feel about Joe's offensive rebounding screening strategy of offense, and if you think it'll be sustainable. This is the new trend or fad, like Miami's no pick offense that they tried to start the season. Best Phil. Maybe, yeah. I just think the Celtics. Like Joe's loves the margins, and if you don't turn the ball over, that's one margin you win, and you prevent a lot of other things. So I think Joe likes that a lot.
Yeah, with Joe, I just think he's always trying to find the ways to help this team the best, right? Like if you look at this Celtics roster coming to the season, I guess you could say this about last year, but Tatum makes a difference in this. They don't have any tremendous passers on this team. They have guys who can do it. They have guys who can play make, but they don't have somebody that you want consistently like running pick and roll. Like they don't have a Tatum. They don't have a great like decision making guy that's going to have the ball in his hands at all times. So with that being said, Joe's just finding ways to get around that. How can I make it so we're not going to turn the ball over? Kind of as Jack said, like he's always going to try and win the margins. I think that's the exact reasoning behind this.
Exactly. That's my thought. Thank you, Philip. Next is Alexandra Luca. Hi. Nope, this is some spam email. Fuck off, Alexandra. Sorry. Respectfully, please. This longer one here, but I think it's worth it for basketball heads. I was thinking about our dear Mr. Hauser and his whole hot cold streaking, and I thought about the math. Yuck. The relationship between individual three-point shooting and streaks is not obvious. We expect that a guy who shoots 41% from three will have a much longer hot streaks of shooting than a player who shoots 35%. That is because humans always think in linear terms. Streaks of shooting, however, are logarithmic. Before you beg me not to throw an equation at you, I promise you I won't. The summary is that a logarithmic relationship, each increase in 1% of success or failure contributes more to the length of a hot or cold streak than the last percentage. So going from 35% shooting to 36 will not affect a hot streak as much as going from 41 to 42% would. But here's where it gets weird and very insightful. Okay. I'm locking in. I'm locking in because I'm not good at like math and stuff. So I want to understand this and I'm not good at it. Okay, lock in. But here's where it gets weird and very insightful. Because players shoot less than 50% from three, that means that increasing one's 3-point attempts by 1%, or percentage, I think it's supposed to say, by 1% from 41 to 42%, will increase their streaks of success. But the more substantial effect on their cold streaks, which go from 49 to 48% because missing is more likely. Okay, I didn't get that at all. So hopefully in other words is better.
What I think he's saying is if you're already shooting well, it's harder to increase how well you're doing.
Yeah.
So in order for us to feel the hot streak going from 41 to 42%, he's really going crazy. Like he's done so much work to move it up that 1%.
It's true.
Whereas like if you're going down from 49 to 48, like it's just like,
yeah.
Oh, well, it's hard to shoot 49.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, he's up at 40.5% on the season now. So, in other words, because missing is more likely than making a three-point shot, the effect of being a better shooter weighs more on misses than makes. Great shooters aren't evidenced as much by their hot streaks as much as they are by shorter cold streaks. I see. I understand. Let that sink in. or let that sink in. I said that as if I'm letting it sink in the room. To prove this, I simulated 3 levels of 3-point shooters, 35, 38, and 41% in a season of 300 attempts. I simulated that season 10,000 times, guess 10,000 times. Amazingly, going from 35 to 41% shooting only improved the average hot streaks by 1 make. 1. In many seasons, the 35% shooter has a longer hot streak than the 41% shooter, Marcus Smart versus Sam Hauser, for example. However, the 35% shooter has an average cold streak that is 2 shots longer than the 41% shooter. That's literally doubling of the difference in a hot streak. So let's go back to dear Mr. Hauser. If I run the simulations at 6 3-point attempts per game, I find that even 41% 3-point average. A, 0 for 6 nights are normal. B, 1 for 10 stretches happen regularly. C, 8 plus consecutive misses will occur multiple times in a season. And D, 5 to 7 makes in a row will happen occasionally. This shows that judging a shooter by the length of a hot and cold streak is dangerous because good, mediocre, and bad shooters go on streaks. Sam LaFrance should take note here, Sam. Equally, being a better shooter is far less about having more hot hand nights and more about having substantially less catastrophic nights than a poor shooter. The same could be said in the aggregate about team shooting, where elite teams would be more evidenced by fewer, shorter, losing streaks than by long winning streaks, which statistically happen even to mid-level teams. This is all to say that guys like Hauser deserve our patience when judging their shooting by their shooting streaks. It may feel unintuitive, but you have to look at the average and not react to the streaks. It's the same for the team itself. I hope that was worth the, quote, mathing. Best, Phil. Thank you, Phil.
Thanks, Phil.
Had to take a breather. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying the same stuff for a while, so. RJ says, morning, folks. Nice win over the Pacers Wednesday. Nothing spectacular, just efficient winning ball, which for guys like Ugo, Walsh, Simons, and the rest of the YMOB young men off the bench is a good progression. Being a professional means taking care of business without breaking a sweat. The next couple of weeks are going to be highly variable, weird even. Should JP and Derek grab an extra day off against a lesser opponent? What's going on with Minot's ankle? When does that Tatum guy take the floor? And who the heck will Brad trade or trade for? I don't think Brad is going to trade Simons or tax relief, nor will he get moved for a temporary upgrade. If there's a big trade out there for the Celtics, Zubats are better coming back, then he gets rolled into it. Otherwise, we ride for tall IT as long as we can. I also don't see Coach Mazzulla making a hard push to overtake the Pistons if Detroit slips, sure, but making up 6 losses in 40 games would likely drain the team of the energy needed before the playoffs. If there's a trade or acquisition, I'm guessing it would be a small ad for a third center who can fill 5 to 10 minutes to help stretch out Nemi and Luka's effectiveness. Maybe the Warriors might make a second-round pick for Al Horford. The C's can use their TPE to slide him in, or maybe we just see more minutes from Amari Williams. Well, at this stage, Boston is on track for Joe's worst season ever as a coach, 52 wins. Fun fact, 52 wins is the most games an Ime Udoka team has totaled in his career. Given the sweeping changes of this season, I'd be very happy with that outcome. How many wins do you think the Celtics will end up with? Be well, RJ. Production note, check the information in your scroll. Playback TV is off the air. Yeah, unfortunately, Playback TV is no longer with us for now.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that they would go undefeated in this next stretch. I'm already wrong. They lost to Chicago. I mean, that's just me. I can't look at a game against a mediocre to bad team and think they're going to lose. I always am like, they'll take care of business. With that being said, like, I don't think any minor trades are coming. Like you said, like, it feels like if they're going to move Simons, it's not going to be just for the hell of doing it to get under the tax. It feels like they would get something or just keep him. The Pistons point's interesting because it is, in fact, very difficult to catch them. I don't really care if they catch them either. I would like them not to keep slipping in the standings, though. Like, that's one thing. Like, I don't want to get really below 3. Personally would love to finish above the Knicks because I hate them. But beyond that, like, I don't have that much of a desire to be first. It's just like, get through the season, make sure everyone's healthy. I'm sure if Tatum does come back, there's going to be growing pains that come with it. It's going to be really annoying because we're going to be forced to be like, what if they're worse with Tatum? And the answer is going to be, well, yeah. Right now they might be, but eventually they're not going to be. It's just going to be a weird change to the ecosystem in Boston when he's back.
Yep. Agree. Next, RJ says, what a game. Morning, folks. It's been a wild week, but a fun one, too. Obviously, the Nets game was not the 58 minutes we expected, but it was fun and reminiscent of the late 80s Celtics for me. One of those games where the write-up would include something like Larry Bird didn't have a great shooting night, but he found other ways to help the team win. That was JV against Brooklyn, 9 for 25, 28, 14, and 6, and a 2-point win. Oh, sorry, that was Larry's stat line from January 26, 86, when the C's beat the Sixers 105-103. Yes, I mentioned Jalen in the same breath as Larry. Superstars keep shooting, and they find a way to impact winning. Sometimes it's not pretty, but the W is what matters. The rest of the team also pitched in to grab the victory. Ugo and Amari's contributions have been well chronicled lately. as has Hauser shooting. Nimi and Keita. I assume Luka and Keita pitched in even as they were getting fouled out. Well, the Nets weren't. 18 free throw difference, really. But one thing I wanted to highlight was Baylor's contribution on Ugo's game-tying three-pointer. It's more obvious on the full game replay than the NBA clip, but Shireman kept his eyes locked on the spot right on the elbow where JB wound up cutting towards. Here's the thing. It's a dumb place to stare at. It's a dumb place for JB to get to because Boston was down 3, not 2. All a perfect pass does is set up the next pass. Okay, maybe that was the play, but Baylor never gave up any hints that he saw Ugo cutting towards the corner, and that look off helped give Gonzo all the space in the world for that shot. Everyone pitched in. One rat list item, change the crawl or the cry on whatever it's on your videos, please. Last I checked, no one is doing anything on playback. Be well, RJ, who got another glowing annual review and a raise at work. So go me. Congrats, RJ, and we will change the thing. We just never look at it, to be honest. We'll update it. Thanks. You're muted.
Nets game was a lot of fun. It was, it wasn't, and then it was again. But now it's dead. Now they've lost to the Bulls.
They did lose to the Bulls. Last email today, RJ again. Evening, folks. Last night, Ugo was the hero. Tonight, the GOAT, with his failure to rotate properly or use the foul to give at the end of the game. In other words, what I expect from a 19-year-old rookie. Speaking of rookies, congrats to Amari Williams for landing his first starting gig. He played like a rookie too, 10 minutes, 2 points, 2 rebounds, a block. But it still goes in the scrapbook, I'm sure. Saturday's loss against the Bulls. We'll have people wishing for the return of Jason Tatum sooner rather than later, but let's look at the facts. The Celtics, after 45 games last year, were 31-14. This year, 28-17, a whole 3 games. Last year at this time, the Celtics were second place in the East. No change there. Not only are the Celtics doing it without JT, they don't have Al Horford, Jrue Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, or Luke Cornett. This year's team might actually be a better team than last year's squad, not in terms of raw talent, but from a perspective of playing with a unified purpose. I don't think the Celtics need to add more ingredients to their stew. They just need to let this team continue to cook. It's going to be special. Be well, RJ. Who wonders what small trade Brad will pull off this year? Yes, it's tough ending in Chicago.
We're all wondering.
Yeah, well, we shall wait and see.
We're gonna wonder for 10 more days.
We will. Do you want to do NBA stuff right now? Or do you want to just do rat lists? We're for transparency.
We can do the rat list. We'll probably touch on the whatever the game tomorrow does for the standings after the game.
Perfect. Sounds good. Okay, I'll let you start that, Sam. Rat list.
Rat list is so earlier this week. I actually might have been last week now. Yeah, it was last week. It's been so long. Whatever. I had donated to a friend's GoFundMe. I won't get into it. But anyways, I donate to the thing. The rat list is GoFundMe. GoFundMe flipped the screen on me. When I donated, they were like, okay, like we're going to set you up to tip us 17% of what you donated. I was like, tip? I'm already giving money for free, which is fine because I want to give. But like, I'm not going to give more money on top of what I'm already giving. That's crazy. The tipping epidemic has reached unimaginable bounds now. I'd never thought that would happen. I couldn't believe it. And also, when I went to donate, I donated like a certain amount of money, and I picked it from a preset list of donations, and then it had me checked off to donate monthly. And so I was like, oh no, I'm going to donate this one time. Then it just raised all the prices on me. Basically, it made me feel like I wasn't contributing enough. It was like, oh, if you're only going to donate once, we should quadruple what we're going to ask you to donate. Unbelievable.
Yeah, scammed. They tried to scam you.
Well, they tried. They weren't successful.
I'll rat list. First off, I'll rat list in my room right now because of all the cold. They've got the heat blasting. I'm in a sauna. I'm dying. I want to leave. Like this is horrible.
Opposite.
This
my
is
feet are
horrible.
Freezing.
I'm sweating my ass off right now. I can't sit in here for much longer. The rat list is travel. I was supposed to be in Chicago last night for the game. But I ended up booking a train home instead, and luckily I did because my flight back from Chicago, which would have been this morning, got canceled. So I'm very glad I'm here and not in Chicago. That would have been not good. But I will say rat list, New York. That city is horrible. It sucks. It's painful. The whole city is just bad. You can't listen. I didn't want to Uber anywhere because Ubers are like $50 wherever you go. But then I go to take a train and it's like, our beautiful T system, our train, 10 minutes, no train for 10 minutes to where you want to go. How? How? What are we doing? It's the middle of the day.
How often does the T run in Boston?
It's like every 5-ish minutes, every 3 minutes,
so double
maybe
the
sometimes.
Time.
Yeah. And it's like, listen, a lot of the trains, stations had pretty consistent ones, but how are you going to make me wait 10 minutes for a train in any place in New York City? You're supposed to be New York City. Grow up. Be better. That's bullshit, right? On top of that, it's just gross, first of all. It's just a nasty city. And I'm just mad. I fucking hate that city so much.
You got one more
trip?
It's
so confusing. I have one more trip. For context, in Boston, every line is like, oh, take the red line towards Braintree or Alewife. There is one destination at the end. The destination is listed as the final stop on that line. And then you can figure everything out from there. New York, it's like, oh yeah, this train goes this, and this place. How the fuck am I supposed to know where I'm going when the train line I can take is, oh yeah, this actually goes to Coney Island, Russia, Africa as well, and also goes to my mom's house down in Staten Island. Fuck off. Name it one thing. Name it one thing so people can know where they're going. Don't say, oh yeah, the M line goes 4 places, but then you can take the one train to all the 4 places, and we're going to list all the 4 places instead of saying this is a Cleveland Circle train. This is a Heath Street train. This is a Boston College train. Stop listing it as 7 million different fucking things. It's garbage. It's a terrible fucking system.
I thought you were going to say because from memory they do uptown or downtown. That's what they tell you which direction.
Also terrible.
Yeah,
also terrible.
As somebody who's not from there, I don't know what stop is where. I actually like taking the train there and stuff, but
I like the train
when you're not from a place. It is hard to navigate the train system if it doesn't tell you the specifics of different things. How was your stay? This is the first time you've stayed there. Usually you will have the day from hell. You'll get up, you'll take the bus, you'll go to a shoot around, you'll wait around all day for the game, then you'll take a bus back. This time, because Chicago was in the cards for the next day, even though it wasn't. You stayed overnight. How was it?
The hotel was fine. I booked a hotel so I would be close to the airport, and then I didn't end up using the airport, so it kind of sucked.
But isn't Brooklyn already the airports are not on the island of Manhattan anyway? So you were already off.
You would think so. The airports are as far as possible from civilization as they can.
Do
you know? Reason. Have you looked at where the airports actually are in New York City?
I have an idea. I don't know. I
don't think you do have
a real scale map, but they're off. I mean, they're technically on Long Island.
Look at this. Look at this bullshit. The whole city should be abandoned. It sucks. The whole city sucks. So let's take a look here. This is New York.
Yes.
Right. I type in Barclays Center. This is where Barclays Center is. Ta-da.
Okay.
Down here in Brooklyn. Right. Great. MSG for context, right over here somewhere.
Yes.
Right here. I stayed here because the airport is fucking here. Who does this help? What? Why? For what? What are we doing? How? Why is it this far out of the way? And this was still a 20-minute drive, by the way. It took me 40 minutes. It would be a 40-minute drive to get from my hotel to the Barclays Center, and I did that so I would have a 20-minute drive to the airport the next morning. And for what it's worth, I took the train. It took me an hour and 15 minutes to take the train. That's not okay. You want to know why?
Barclays or the airport?
To Barclays. You want to know why?
Gosh.
Because I stayed up here in Long Island City. There is no train that goes right down here. You'd think, oh, maybe there's a train that just goes down, down Long Island, down towards Brooklyn. I had to go into Manhattan, all the way down and around and back out again. What are we doing? And also, you're like, oh, Jack, that's just one airport. The other one's over here. For what? For what? For what?
Fired.
What are we doing? Why? The whole city sucks. The whole city sucks. I might like Philly more than New York. That's how dog shit New York is. If I'm comparing you to Philadelphia, you should be embarrassed.
See, I remember driving. I think it's because I drove. So to get to Barclays, I never went to Manhattan, I don't think, because I was coming from lovely
Lucky
New
you.
England. So I think I had to pass JFK or whichever the north. I think LaGuardia is the northern one. I don't know. I had
LaGuardia is the
pass-
northern one.
Okay, so I had to pass LaGuardia to get to Barclays when I went. So I was like, oh, like it's not that far. But yeah, an hour ride on the train to the arena is tough. How long was the walk?
To what?
Barclays. It was cold out. Never mind.
From my hotel?
Yes, yeah. Never mind.
3
It was
hours.
cold as shit. 3 hours?
3 hours.
Ooh.
I'll show you. I can show you exactly where I stayed. Look at this. Directions, not from my location. I stayed at the Netia in Long Island City.
Jack has doxed himself.
You just know I'm in New York. It's fine. Netia, this one. Walk to Barclays. Maybe it was less than 3 hours, but it was bad when I was there. Yeah, 2 hours, 29 minutes to walk this fucking distance. 6.5 miles.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What are we doing? Can we be serious? Can we be fucking like? And again, I stayed here because I was going to go to the airport, and then I didn't end up using the airport, so it was just a complete mess. The whole city is awful. It's so ass. It's so bad. It's gross. It's unreasonable. It is a pain in the ass to navigate. It's so far fucking away from each other. Oh my god, it sucks. Holy shit! I never want to go
come
back
on one of these trips with you just so I can like watch you get so. Have you been to LA?
I'm gonna hate LA. I know
you're gonna hate LA.
I know I'm gonna hate LA.
Public transit in LA sucks.
I know I'm gonna hate LA. I'm staying in a place that's a walk to the arena, luckily, so I don't think it'll be as
that's
bad,
fire.
I think, but I know I'm gonna hate LA.
When I went out there for work, we stayed right across the street. I went to a concert at Staples or Crypto Arena.
Yeah,
I've never gone to an event and then been able to just walk across the street and go to bed. It was unbelievable. It's always an hour drive for me to go anywhere.
And then on the fucking what's it called? The ride back, the train ride back. People in front of me leaving their seat back. Both of them. I was sandwiched. The whole city is terrible. The whole experience was terrible. I'm glad I came home and didn't go to Chicago, but man, that place sucks. Man, that place sucks. That's all I have.
You did have the privilege of being in Rhode Island on the way back on the train.
I did. Oh wait, that's not all I had, because then I get back to Boston, and then I go to take a fucking train, and I'm trying to hustle down to where I get the red line. I'm trying to not to say a mean thing. This dumb, stupid motherfucker in front of me doesn't know where she's going, but she's running, right? She's hustling. But in her attempt to go quickly, she is just cutting me and this other dude off over and over and over again, because she's going one way, then coming back, and we keep having to stop. And then the train leaves in front of us. And so I'm looking at her, I'm like, you did this. I could have gotten my ass down here quick enough to get that train, but I didn't want to cut off you because you couldn't decide where you were going to fucking walk. And then after I waited 8 minutes for the next train, which, Boston imitating New York, the train didn't leave. I sat on the train at the platform, stood on the train at the platform for 15 minutes because a train got stuck in front of it somehow, somewhere. And so I was just sitting there. I got off and I Ubered home.
Jack was furious yesterday.
It was the most fucking ridiculous day of travel I've had in my life.
I feel for you, because to deal with, for context, Jack was worried about getting home on Friday after the game. We did the podcast. I don't know if we finished before midnight. I think it might, because the game went to overtime. Jack was at the pressers. I'm pretty sure we were in the room technically on Saturday morning talking about whether or not Jack should go to Chicago. And then I'd imagine, get up early and get on the train, and then have to deal with the guy and the couple reclining in front of you. Then you get to South Station, you're finally almost home, and you deal with the incompetence final boss cutting you off from getting on your train. Then your train doesn't leave when you finally get on the train. That would be it for me. Rat list is we talked a little bit about the weather because it screwed Jack's travel. And I'm watching a lot of snow right now, which I don't really care because I don't have to clean it up anymore. I live in an apartment complex that they do it. It's nice. But I went shopping on Friday, went to the store. You would have thought this was the last day they would ever have supermarkets. The amount of massive humanity if you're from Rhode Island, like there's like the saying bread and milk. You guys might have it too. But the in 1978 there was like a massive blizzard here that like everybody still remembers vividly, even though half of us weren't born yet, where like you couldn't get off the highway, people's cars were stuck on 95, the whole nine. So I guess everyone that lives here has it burned into their brain that they need to go and absolutely gut the stores when this is about to happen. This guy in front of me at the Price Right had 7 boxes of cereal. What are you doing with that? What do you eat 7 boxes of cereal for? I don't get it. I actually went to like a farm to get my stuff because it was very cheap. Shout out to him. But I had to get milk from my Price Right. So I went in there. Parking lot's crazy. Never seen it like that. It's usually a mess anyway. Shout out to Price Right. They've started making you give them a quarter to take a shopping cart. So now like people actually put the shopping carts back instead of them being all over the parking lot. Credit to Price Right because it used to be a big problem. But it was like trying to leave a Celtics game by leaving the TD Garden garage and having to try and navigate your way through the North End and Causeway Street to get back on the highway, like right after the game ends. That was what the parking lot was like. I was never seen it like that before. So I hope everybody has all of the things they need for the snowstorm. We live in a place where we get snow. Everywhere is getting snow. Like in Texas, it's snowing. Along the East Coast, it's snowing. I actually love it when places that aren't here get snow that don't usually get snow. Like you guys should go through it too, honestly. But it is funny, like when you're not used to getting snow, any snow can like absolutely fry your entire society. Like I have friends in Texas you have a friend in Texas too. I'm sure like their weekend is just like they're shutting everything down. Mm-hmm. Might get a dusting.
Yeah, brutal. That's all I have. I'm all set. I'm sweating, so I'm eager to go move and stop sweating. Thank y'all for listening. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Leave a like, subscribe. Let's say I'm taking out.
Thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're here every single day with new stuff. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the one after each game. Other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. Everything is there. Check it out. You can find us in the email, hbtcpod@gmail.com, or read them every single time we do the podcast. Thank you guys for continuing to send them in. I know we haven't gotten to read them in a while before today, so we appreciate it. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jax1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.